Hello folks, just a note of caution about eBay and their buyer protection policies. Now, if you're a buyer, you really don't have too much to worry about. But if you're a seller, the buyer protection policies can backfire on you and really, really hurt you. Now, I had an experience. I've got a recent experience and I've got a past experience. And this first one happened to me about 5 years ago, and it involved three sales to the same individual. One person bought three items from me, and they were three jewelry items, gold 14 karat, to the tune of about $3,150. And they claimed that the jewelry was not authentic. So they made a case with eBay, and I said, okay, fine, send it back, because we had tested it and it was fine. There was nothing wrong with it, but he claims it wasn't real. Return it. He never returned it, but eBay seized the money through PayPal, okay, gave it back to him before he returned anything. He never returned anything. This person kept the jewelry and got their money. They basically robbed me of $3,150, and eBay helped them to do it. And I contacted eBay and said, hey, listen, what the hell? I did not get these items back. Your policy clearly states that there is no refund until I receive my items. You granted him the refund before the complaint was even processed, which is a violation of their policy. And he kept the items. So basically, your policy helped him to rob me of my merchandise. And they're like, well, they made a lot of excuses. It was very difficult to understand the person that I was talking to, for one thing, because eBay outsources out of the country for their customer service. So it was very difficult to understand the person I was talking to, but in a nutshell, they were not concerned at all. Oh, we have these policies in place to protect our eBay customers and our eBay sellers. And I was like, I'm an eBay seller and I'm not protected here. You're screwing me. Furthermore, this guy left me 3 negative feedbacks. Even after getting his refund, he turned around and left me 3 scathing feedbacks. And because I got 3 negative feedbacks in a row, eBay turned around and suspended me for a month. They took all my auctions down and suspended me from being able to sell for a month for getting 3 in a row. And I called him again, and I'm like, you penalizing me. First of all, since he got a full refund, he's not supposed to be able to do this. They still burned me. So I lost $3,150. I was robbed, and eBay helped him do it. Now, again, something similar to this is happening right now, where I've got a complaint. It was a Pandora bead sold for $150, and this person claims they didn't get it. And so they've opened up a case. They say that they got an empty box, which is a load of crap. I have never had anyone ever in years. I've been on eBay since the mid-90s, back when eBay wasn't even able to host photographs, okay? When it was just a forum. I have never had anybody claim that they got an incorrect item, that they have gotten an incomplete item or something missing. I've always been on top of it. No, I take that back. I did get two items switched once, and actually had them send the item to each other and reimburse them their postage. That did happen, but I've never had complaints like that, and I know exactly what I did. I know where everything is that I'm selling. I've got it all marked out on shelves, and I have a little table, and I bring all my stuff. I bring the box that I need, the wrapping that I need, and the item, and I line them all up, and I do each item one at a time. I keep everything separate. I know what I did and how I did it. That son of a bitch got their item. Okay, but they filed a claim, and eBay is going to go ahead and side with them like they always do, and I'm going to lose $150. And I want to point out also, I don't typically do jewelry, and this is the reason why. I've probably in the last decade sold about had 20 jewelry sales. I guess you could say 22 because 3 went to that one person the last time, but roughly 20 overall jewelry sales, and out of those 20, 2 customers have given me a hard time. So that's like 10% of total jewelry sales. Somebody committed a fraud. And it makes me think I know another person who had a sale of another item. It was also a Pandora. It was a ring, and it was a gold ring, 14 karat. And you know, Pandora does everything in either silver, plated gold, or solid gold. Well, most anything. This ring was done in all three. And he sold this solid 14 karat Pandora ring to somebody for, I don't know, a couple $100. And they claimed that they got a plated one. And he's like, no, it's solid. And they went through eBay, returned the item, and he got a plated one back. He did not get back the same item that he sent out. And he filed a complaint with eBay and said, hey, I didn't receive the same item. Guess what? He's stuck with a plated 14 karat ring, and they got their money back. So they just swapped out the plated one for a solid one, and he got screwed. So really watch your ass with jewelry on eBay, and really fight all you can with their buyer protection policies, because that's all they are. They do not protect their sellers as far as I have seen. Another example of this, I have a lot of issues with deadbeats sometimes. You know, they buy an item and they never pay and you never hear from them. Okay, I had one item just recently, as a matter of fact, that I ended up selling 4 times because it was deadbeated 3 times. They never paid, and they never answered email responses. Hey, dude, do you want this or not? What is your deal? And I had to list it 4 damn times before it was sold. And that sucks also because when people see the same item, you know, you have to retake your photos. If that happens to you, take new photos, because if they see the same item come up over and over again, people are going to assume something's wrong with it. Okay? Take new photos, act like it's a new item. If you know your item is decent, which this was. I had this one guy that I had this problem with, where he was a deadbeat on something that he had purchased. And I went and I looked at his feedback. Now, here's a huge problem with eBay and customer usage feedback, because as a seller, I am not permitted to leave a negative feedback on a customer, or even a neutral. I cannot leave a negative or a neutral feedback on a customer. I can only leave positive responses. So I decided to go ahead and look at this guy's feedback. He had no negative or neutral feedbacks, only positive ones. He had like 122, 123 positive feedbacks, right? Now here's the problem. I actually read them. Usually you don't look, be honest, when you look at people's feedback, you don't pay attention to it unless what? It's negatives or neutrals, right? You don't read the positive feedbacks. Nobody cares about that. I actually read through them. 85 out of those 122, 123 feedbacks were complaints from sellers saying that that son of a bitch never paid for their item and never answered emails. 85 complaints warning people with what? A positive feedback, because we can't leave a negative or neutral. Like a buyer never does anything wrong on eBay, right? That is a policy that eBay seriously needs to reconsider. And because they sit there also, when you file a claim to get your commission back that eBay charges you for your sale, and they say, okay, we're going to make a note of this. It tells you this in the description. I'm paraphrasing, but basically, we'll make a note of this, that this seller was uncooperative or didn't pay. How many times are you going to make a note of it before you actually do something about it? If this guy's already on 85 and I'm number 86, and I can't warn anybody, can't even leave a neutral, and you let him continue to get away with it, you know, it's unacceptable. That's basically my gripe. I'm just warning people, bitching about my Pandora bead that I'm about to lose 150 bucks on, because eBay's going to side with this jackass and they're going to rip me off. and also just to warn people, as a seller, you've got to be careful. And I do not recommend, and it's unfortunate, I don't recommend too many jewelry sales on eBay. And it's unfortunate because what's your alternative? Taking it to a pawn shop, maybe getting 20% on the dollar. That's a load. That's unsatisfactory. But anyway, I mean, I'm just curious if you've had an eBay horror story. Let me know down in the comment section below. I'd be interested to see it. Tune in again, and also by request and as a facto of the weather, since it is getting colder out, we're going to start doing more often here thrift store videos. So expect some thrift store videos coming up. If you have any suggestions for any other types of videos, let us know in the comment section below. We do try to keep track of it.